change. Memories of the crime make life seem so strange.
All right, the gang is here. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the State of Male Entertainment. I am your host, Sigma Jones. First and foremost, we just want to give a shout out to all the subscribers out there. Thanks for listening in. Thanks for tuning in. We truly appreciate the love and support. Hope you all are doing well this evening or this morning, depending on where you're listening in around the world. Man, it has been a long time. And part of that is my fault. I have been busy with work and also schooling, especially when the CIO of the university is running a new AI department. And yours truly has been pegged to lead a team in part of this new department. So that has been going crazy. But hey, finally got some time on my schedule to kick back and really enjoy the streams, not only with the panel up here, but everybody else that's in the chat. So, without further ado, let me introduce the compadres as usual, starting off with Mr. Taicho himself. Mr. Lawrence Guy, how's it going, good sir?
Uh, Shalom in here one more again, and it's been a while. It's been a while. I see. I see. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in pretty good.
I keep hearing background music. Are you playing the? Are you playing the music?
Sh- No, it should be good. Uh, let's
Um,
see.
is the music in on your YouTube feed?
No, I have that shut down actually.
Okay, I
Okay.
don't
Okay,
know.
I think that's it right there. Every time I spoke, I heard the music play again. Okay. So I'm breaking up and coming in and out. I sound good now. All right,
Yeah.
outstanding. Thank you, Lord Toaster. So let's try again. And I'm still waiting on Starwind to pay me my money back. Now, considering
Hey,
considering that I came to the show after spending some quality time with my daughter and had to cut it short, this is how this is going to work, gentlemen. She's going to need a giant strawberry shortcake, cheesecake, to compensate. I'm going to need two family sized boxes of Cheez Its, one regular, one white cheddar. And as far as it goes for my son, well, a couple of T Bones and we straight. That's the only way I'm going to assuage them for having to come to this show.
Man, man. Definitely got to get that going. But all right, all right. I will make note of that and make sure we get that on the docket. So
That's
all
right.
right.
Bring your own bag. Bring your own bag. I'm a little rusty, but I'll get back in the swing of it as we go.
Okay. Next up, we have my man, Mr. JJ Starwood. Definitely got to play that intro.
I'm not going there to die. I'm going to find out if I'm really alive.
All right, Mr. JJ, how's it going, sir?
I'll give you everything. Oh, sorry about that.
oh, you could have kept singing, man. Oh man,
That
I'm doing
guy, man,
okay.
that's an awesome intro. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, appreciate that. I mean, yeah, Sigma made it, so hey, you got to give him the credit there. Although I do have my own intros on my channel. I just created a third one, but I'm not quite done with it yet. I just got to add some music to it, and it should be okay. But yeah, other than that, I've been busy, been ripping around the road, doing all sorts of projects at the job. But outside of that, I did have to slow down on the YouTube myself. But now that we're all here today, we can kind of catch up on things, right?
Indeed, good sir,
Yep.
indeed. So glad to have you back as well. Now, let's introduce one of the Dark Lords that help us to ingratiate this new State of Male Entertainment stream.
All creatures need to obey. No one can survive without trusting someone they feel is better, more worthy than themselves. To avoid that responsibility, those who are worthy look even higher, searching for more superior beings. And those superiors do the same, looking for even stronger individuals they can believe in. That is how all kings are created. It is also how gods are born.
Mr. Eisen Sama, thank you for joining us as well. How's it going?
Thank you. It's going pretty well, man. It's been a while since I heard that intro. I enjoyed just as much as I did the first time, but I can't wait to kind of get started here. I'm on a high note right now. Hey, they just shown me again, and here in the this second core of Bleach. So I'm really excited. They keep teasing me a little bit, and I can't wait to see what I'm gonna do next for everybody. But let's get it going.
Man, I have been catching up on some of the latest episodes too, so definitely we will touch a little bit on that subject as well. But yeah, I've been waiting for the second season. It's been so far hasn't disappointed me, so definitely for sure. And then next, our good friend Logic's Finest is here, and definitely have to play that intro.
I'm so disappointed, Ichigo. So very disappointed. Sadly, your sword exhibits only fear. When you counter, it's because you fear being killed. When you attack, you fear killing. And when you try to protect someone, you fear you could let them die. The only thing that your sword speaks of is senseless fright. And that's not good. What you do not need in battle is fear. Nothing will come of it. You counter, you don't let them cut you. If you protect someone, you don't let them die. When you attack, you kill.
All right, Mr. Logic's Finest, how's it going, good sir? Oh, he may have stepped away for a bit, but I wanted to also play this while he is here. So next time when he comes back, I will definitely play that tone yet again. And then, last but not least, a man we haven't seen in such a long time, and I definitely have to play his intro.
What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Mr. A. Truism. How's it going, good sir?
All right, it is going good. I have a blessed day. The family, everybody's chilling, relaxing. I'm ready for it. We got more episodes of Baki out now. Oh man, yeah. It's a good week.
All right. Well, we're going to get started. That's where the panel is at. We'll probably have a few more join later on the show, but we definitely got the main compadres here. So, reason why we got the State of Bell Entertainment set up, our gracious Dark Lord himself, Aizen Sama, had messaged me with a topic that I definitely feel like is a subject that we need to get into because I have heard a little bit of what's happening. But Aizen, if you don't mind, good sir, could you start us off with this topic that you wanted to kickstart?
Okay, well, the topic that I wanted to kickstart for today was, it was somebody had probably posted in, it came through my YouTube feed, and they basically had like a community poll of whether or not Thanos was right, whether Snap was right. Um, and alarmingly, a lot of people, um, a lot of people thought that he was wrong. And what was more alarming about why he was wrong, a lot of people just thought that he could just double the resources and that just would have solved everything. Which I thought was pretty hilarious because it's not like that. It just kind of showed that they didn't know that the stones they in the gauntlet it couldn't just like break the laws of reality of what a planet could hold and planets around, the resources they could hold. So I thought it was pretty alarming, and and hilarious of why they thought that he could just kind of double the resources and why he was wrong. And they thought that, and the other thing they thought was, that everything would just kind of be reset in about 40 or so years, and they'd have the same problem. I think that when I noticed, I don't think anybody actually noticed who all died in the snap, but I think that is the premise for I guess what's going on today.
Okay, so really then, so because I've heard the same thing too, where the argument from a lot of people, this with Thanos, is because he had the power to just whisk people away, surely he could have used that power to just double the resources and everything would be peachy. Even though I'm just like, that's really not what the gauntlet is for. But okay, we'll go ahead and dive into this and see what's going on. So, gentlemen, you have the floor. Could Thanos, there's the main topic we're using for tonight to start off. Could Thanos have used the Infinity Stones and the Gauntlet to just double up the resources in the Marvel Universe?
Could he or should he?
Well, okay, we'll use should. Should he have used the Infinity Stones and the Gauntlet to just double the resources?
Huh. Okay. All right. I guess I'll kind of go first then. 'Cause I guess it has been a while since I've said anything here. All right. So, should he have done it? No. And the reason why is, if we're gonna go with the humanness model of how civilization has gone, right? Every time when there were any new resources introduced, unfortunately, human greed interferes and it causes more conflict, it will cause more death, and it will cause more suffering, because there's going to be those who are going to feel, due to their whatever, that they deserve to have the resources more than others. And there are people who are going to be upset about those people coming to take them, because nobody likes a bully. And so that will cause the conflict, and that will cause a problem. If we're going to base this upon how human sentience has performed in its history. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
All right.
Not a problem. So whoever's next, feel free.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you coming in loud and clear.
All right. Okay, excellent. Okay, so here's my response. Hell no, shit no, fuck no. The truth of the matter is just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. That's number one.
Yep.
The second thing is that, like, it would be no different than money. More money, more problems. More resources, more people breeding, more people creating new creatures, and not only are we back to where we started, but we've increased the problem exponentially, because you know how it goes. The more resources you have, the more things come easy, the more lazy people get. The more lazy people get, the more breeding happens, yada yada yada. Because you got to remember, back in the days before everything got comfortable, you could only breed but so much, because you only have so much resources to feed so many mouths. So, yeah, my answer is hell no. And on top of that, it's not even his planet. Why would he care?
I missed that.
I missed what?
Yeah.
Oh, the thing? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I'm in agreement too. I think, this whole mindset of, well, yeah, go ahead, Lawrence.
No, I'm sorry. I just real quick, and I also want to say that, to be honest with you, just off history, the people who were saying that would more than likely be Negroid. Just wanted to put that out there.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah, just wanted to put it out there. wanted to put that out there because that's
Well,
how.
Yo.
well, you know what? Just because of the book that Sigma and I did a review of, that I would say stupidity. It doesn't discriminate; it takes on all.
Hmm.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll go. And I'll go strictly from the stance of he couldn't have. For one, like I said, the whole reason why he couldn't, I'm pretty sure Logic and Lawrence can correct me on this if I'm wrong later. The gauntlet didn't allow him to really just break the natural laws of the universe and reality to to be able to just double the resources, across the universe, across all the planets like that, and it just be okay, and there not be any there's no way it just break. I think it would end up breaking the fabric of reality. But the other thing is, let's just take, for instance, for this planet specifically, if you wanted to double the resources, I would pose a question first. What's one of the most important resources that you would need, by doubling them resources?
Well, I mean, as far as it goes for the primary resource, that would be water. I mean, above all things.
I got you. I was gonna say the primary was gonna be space. If you really think about how many forests have been cleared to make metropolitan cities.
Oh, okay. All right. I see what you're saying.
How many
Okay.
forests have been removed to make metropolitan cities? I mean, there's no way he could just double the resources and it not encroach on space already taken. So I thought that was pretty kind of silly and foolish for people to. It just goes to show I don't think they really thought about it whatsoever.
Nope.
And to the point that Lawrence was speaking of, which I also had thought about, was the more resources you get. I mean, human beings would be other living creatures would be breeding exponentially as well because of that influx of already because of that influx of resources. So it would create a more exponential problem. The other thing is that nobody ever really noticed whenever he done that snap, who all actually got taken out. He took out the individuals who had the chance to actually increase Earth's standing as far as in technology, achievement. I mean, just anybody who could for inventiveness, and those were the ones who got taken out. Minus Ant-Man, who was in the quantum realm. But the ones who
killed all the
had
smart people.
Yeah, he killed not just smart, but everybody who had the chance, who could exponentially, take the Earth into at least a level 2, at least to a level 2 civilization, and maybe to a level 3 by the time Tony Stark is dead. I mean, just off what him and Ant-Man, and heck, we even have to admit that Spider-Man, he's no idiot either. So
and T'Challa.
these well, heck, a lot, but well, I can't remember if she
T'Challa.
out or not.
T'Challa, that's T'Challa. There's Professor X, because the mutants. So yeah, I see what you're talking about though.
But everybody that I seen that died that had the potential to take Earth to that next level, those next 2 levels, those are the ones that got taken out. And I mean, off that snap, the recovery for everything would have been a whole lot slower than what I think people would have realized. That's where I'll end it.
So now I want to ask you a question then. Why do you think why do you think that that's the reason why he did that?
What do you mean? Why do I think what exactly?
Why do you think he took out all the people that could have made Earth more technologically advanced?
Oh, he took them out because I mean, they would have left and they would have gone on spread across the galaxy and done the same thing.
Okay, so oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Basically, to halt that, from what resources were already there from being exponentially, just taken, and it just would have, to curb a problem.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
My bad.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Whoever was talking, go ahead.
I was
done.
Yeah, I was going to say, was he looking at this kind of like the Men in Black thing, where like human thought and also at this point human existence is so virulent that it needs to be curbed?
No. That's not what he's doing. That's not what he's doing. You got because you got to go back a little further. You got to go back to 1999 when what Thanos was doing is from the Matrix. Everybody's a virus. It's just time to remove them. That's his mindset.
Okay.
So because that's why my thought process right now with this conversation is like we've covered this multiple times last year, and I don't even know why we even entertaining these folks.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I forgot one more thing. The thing that was the most hilarious to me was when people said his original reason for killing people, and I know Lawrence, you and Logic would know, was even better and was better and more worthy than this one. And when I was like, how would you say that? The first time, the first reason why he was killing, he was a puppet. This time he was the puppet master.
Before we continue,
So it just my bad, go ahead.
No, before we continue, we are joined by another member on the panel. I gotta play this for him.
Are you aware of the proper method that one should use to eliminate weeds? You see, weeds, when left unchecked, will rob the flower of its proper nutrients. So what do? If you uproot the weed, then you disturb the flower. Its roots and soil don't like to be interfered with. So, what do? You learn to plant flowers that utilize the weeds as a form of nourishment. Take a look. This flower is an example of a beautiful exterior masking its true intentions. Intentions that are really quite brutal.
Yes.
Oh, he just jumped off. What was I saying? Free zone. Come back once you do, good sir. Just jumped off. So
Oh, there he goes.
here he is. Here he is.
Man, salute.
Yeah,
What's
Mr.
good,
Free
everybody?
Zone. How's it going, sir?
It's good, man. I'm glad. It's good to be back, man. It's good to be back. God rest the toaster oven, man. I miss him.
It's good.
But it's all good.
No,
It's an all human. It's an all human panel today. I feel. Oh, there you go. There you go. But God bless you. Good toaster. Good appliance.
Yeah.
Nah, this is a good topic. I didn't mean to cut y'all off, man. Y'all go ahead, man.
Nah, all good. Okay. Who was the last one speaking before the break? Definitely continue.
Oh, that was me. I was done. But the only thing I was just getting at was one of the reasons when they said that his original reason in the comics for the snap and killing people was better, and it made more sense than this last time. And I was like, and that just baffled me, because I was like, how could it be better when the first time he was a puppet? When this time around, he wasn't manipulated. he he was the puppet master this time around. So I was like, I don't know. I was like, that was weird to me.
You know how the song goes. What people do for love. They do all that kind of crazy stuff, man.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, and good evening, gents. But
Yo,
Good
the very
evening.
the very first time in the comics, Thanos snapped out half of all living life in the entire universe for one reason only, as Truism just said, for his love of Mistress Death. It had nothing to do with the resources or balancing the universe or anything of that nature. So it would seem to me that, and again, I'm just getting caught up, but that statement saying that Thanos' reason was better than the original reason, it actually holds a lot of weight, because it was done not on a whim, but basically on a whim. He just said, okay, I want to prove my worth to Mistress Death. She brought me back to end lives, to end souls. So to make her happy, I'm going to hunt down the Infinity Gems, because they were gems, not stones, and remove half of all living life in the entire universe. That was the reason. That was it. That was the entirety of thinking. So being quote unquote new, more modern reason, actually, if you think about it, is much more reasoned and holds a lot more intellectual weight.
Right, Logic. I agree with that sentiment as well. That's why it baffled me when people said that, him doing it, when people said that him doing it for her was a much more plausible reason. I'm like, in that situation, he was actually the puppet. She just wanted more souls. He wasn't even the puppet master. Whereas in this new reason, which was actually, it was more justified in a way. It was more merit to it in the MC universe. And he wasn't the puppet man. He was a puppet. He was a puppet master this time. So,
hey, I got a question. Considering how Phase 4 of the Marvel Universe and the current state of entertainment in general, did they just do that whole entire thing about him not doing it for love? Because nowadays, as is seen with movies like, say, the new Snow White remake, she's a strong, independent force of nature, and she don't need no man, type of thing. So is it like, because it seems like a lot of things are like anti-romantic interests is what it's seeming like right now. So do you think they did that to kind of segue into what's going on now?
no, I disagree. I think that the reason why it was planned out that way was because, I mean, we got to think that whole universe since the first Iron Man began. That's been almost 20 years. I think it was more about that was what they were going for from the beginning. And I would say now, 2023, they probably have been doing something. I don't know. It would be much different. I don't think the reasoning would be the same, or it would be something even worse now. So,
okay. It just occurred to me. That's the reason why, because the whole thing with Snow White, she's talking about whether she's not in it for love anymore. She's going to be a strong leader, and yada 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 yada. I'm thinking like, oh, and when you said that the other reason seemed more, it does seem more intellectually sound and more thought out and reasoned than just being a simp. So you're right. So I'm thinking, is that all of it, or are they just basically just trying to phase out this whole lack of heteronormative type of relationships thing, because that unfortunately seems to be bad nowadays? But that's just kind of where my mind went.
Well, you have to understand something. Hollywood has a playbook. They've had this playbook for decades. It's just that people don't realize it. The playbook is this: the studio heads, they know what you like. They know what you want. They have the researchers. They've done the market research. They have the intellectuals. They know exactly what you like. They know exactly what you want. So here is the playbook. They will destroy it completely. They hire either an editor, if it's in print, or a producer or a director, or both, if it's anything visual. They hire people who either have zero knowledge or information about the IP or openly hate it. Case in point, J.J. Abrams, who said he did not like Star Trek. In fact, he hated Star Trek and he always wanted to do things different. And now that he has a chance, that's exactly what he's going to do. So they destroy what you like, they destroy what you love, they step on it, they piss it, they burn it down to the ground. In doing so, it brings in new fans who they're fickle and they're not real fans because they don't like what this property has done. They like this new thing. Existing fans, and here's why you are the problem, because you hate it and you get mad and you talk about it and you rage about it and you host live streams and you spend your money to go see it, to watch it, so you can talk about it and hate on it. A hate watching dollar or a fanboy dollar are exactly the same to studio heads. They don't care where it comes from. They both spend the same. So you end up supporting the thing that you claim that you now hate. Eventually, and also, the mantra of all publicity is good publicity comes from Hollywood. That's why publicists were created also in Hollywood. Their belief is, as long as they're talking about you, that's a good thing. Public perception can always be managed. Eventually, when they totally run it into the ground and they've pissed on it and you finally get mad and start to walk away, then they'll finally give you a breadcrumb of what it is that you want. And then fans say, oh, look, they're finally listening to us. They're giving us what you want. There is hope in it. But there's not hope, because they always knew that you would not do the one thing that you should have done from the beginning, which is to walk away. So now, whether it's social justice or wokeism or whatever it was back in the 60s or even in the 80s, this is all Hollywood's playbook. So until you understand what they're doing and you walk away from the beginning, they will keep going back to this playbook, and that's what they're doing again.
In the end, you will always kneel
before Zod.
There you go.
I said before Zod. Yo, he went there. Yo. Oh, that's old school, man.
But yeah.
Hey,
Right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree with Logic. Absolutely. I did want to give my answer to the question of why Thanos did what he did. And at its simplest, just based on what I know about Thanos and his like Messiah-like complex that he has, it was his idea to do so he couldn't change it. I think he had too much at stock. He had too much stock in that plan for him to choose something else. He had to follow it through. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think he paid a lot for that particular idea that he had. And for him, because of his Messiah complex, to not at least, try to do it, it's incongruent with who he is as a character.
Well, I mean,
so he had to do it.
I mean, once you take something so far, it's
I think you went out.
No, I just muted up.
Many centuries.
No, I was talking about Lawrence.
There wasn't that he couldn't. Yeah. Dramatic.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Lawrence.
Yeah, you're
he's in and out. Audio.
You've joined the board, bro.
Doing anything any other way. It's no different than society. Yeah, let me guess. I went out again.
Yeah,
yeah, you've been borging the whole time, brother.
Yeah, man. Sorry, little cuties. It happened. They got you.
It's Thanos' fault.
So you're saying, Free Zone, you're
Now
saying he kind of like had
again.
Hold on, sorry about that. I didn't want to interrupt him.
I don't think either of us know whether you're interrupting right now.
Sheesh. All right. Well, I was going to say like so you kind of saying like he had like a sunk cost fallacy kind of thing going on, like he put so much in that he had to commit to the bit more or less at this point.
Yeah. I think that, but I also think that he's just so arrogant in his thinking that he didn't want to acknowledge, even if there was like a better plan, he wouldn't have wanted to acknowledge that it existed because of his arrogance. Like he had his plan, and that was his plan. To suggest a different plan would get in the way of his original plan, and I think he would. Even if there was a better plan, he's the type of person he is. He's too arrogant to change it.
Again, which is why I said it's not in the comics. It is a completely different universe entirely, and that's a whole other rabbit hole for later. But his motivation in the MCU actually holds much more intellectual weight. And to add on to what Frieson said, if you remember at the line, it was so shocking and so jarring. Paraphrasing, you will come to know, or you will come to realize that you so devoted yourself to a course of action, and to yet fail. The realization will turn the legs to jelly. Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives, all the same. There is zero place in Thanos' brain for any other plan, because any plan in his mind would not succeed, and it also holds zero value. He cannot wrap his head around any other plan but his.
And also to to your points, and yes, I agree that once he's got his mind set on which direction he's going, there's no turning around. And if there ever was, I mean, when the moment he had to kill Gamora to get the last gem, I mean,
that tells you what you need to know.
After that, it'd be a waste to throw the plan away now. I mean, after you had to sacrifice what you love to be able to do it, you have to see it through now. That was the critical mass point anyway. So.
I also want to throw this out. Thanos did not want to sacrifice his favorite daughter, Gamora, but he was such a man of will that he realized if this is the sacrifice for the plan, he will sacrifice what is most dear to him, his favorite daughter. A man of that kind of will. Now, what I'm saying here is that level of writing has not been equaled by anything that Marvel has put out since. So when they said that they wanted to move and make Kang the Conqueror as their next villain, my first thought was, have any of you read Marvel Comics? Have any of you grown up with Marvel Comics? Kang the Conqueror is pure evil. He is not a person of will driven by intellect the way that Thanos is. He's a scientist, yes, but you're actually taking a step back. Now you're going back to a pure evil trope, a cardboard cutout of what an evil guy is. So since they couldn't increase intellectually with their background and motivation for the next villain, they said, okay, we're just going to take the cheap and easy route and say, well, he's going to affect the multiverse. Since Thanos affected our universe, Kang is now going to affect 1,000 universes. Which to me, again, comes back to the overall lack of quality writing and creativity at Marvel.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree there. Yeah. I wouldn't just put it on Marvel. I put it on just about everything right now.
Well, question then, and I'm curious here. What would you, because now that you had Thanos and you had that ended out, phase 3. For phase 4 now, what would you do to make Kang a more, either a greater threat or an equal threat, but maybe a more of a lateral move, as it were? for Phase
You
4?
can't. I don't. I think logic maybe would go this way. I can't speak for sure, but I wouldn't try and make him your Phase 4 villain at all. He could just be a villain, but not the main villain. I think there's only one or two ways you'd want to go for things for the big send off. To me, either you'd want the Secret Wars, or have your next big villain be Doom. Personally,
What? Okay. Well, wait a minute. Why Doom? If you don't mind me asking.
Doom ended up getting the powers of the Beyonder, and he actually ended up conquering the universe. So I think he would be the next credible one, because it's obvious they failed and can't do Galactus, so there's no point in trying that. So to me, Doom would be the next best one, personally.
Well, I'd like to correct one thing. Unless I'm mistaken, Doctor Doom did not conquer the universe, and gaining the power of the Beyonder would not give him anywhere near the level of power needed to conquer the universe. Galactus, at full power, is the second or third most powerful individual by himself. When Doom stole the power of the Beyonder. Anyway, before I go too deep off into those weeds, truism.
Yeah,
it's a yes and a no. You can't make a bigger villain than what they made Thanos out to be for the MCU. So that would necessitate either a lateral move, as you said, or a downgrade of a move. Dr. Doom would have been brilliant because he is the tactical puppet master that even Thanos is not, and what they showed in the MCU. So maybe go in a different direction. If you're going to go someone who is purely evil, Annihilus from the Negative Zone would have been my choice, rather than this multiversal garbage that they're bringing here. But the problem there is Phase 4 or Phase 4 was all about the MCU, so it really doesn't matter who they set up as their next bad guy.
Agreed. And my bad, I got that. They're a little bit. They're wrong. I knew you set me straight on anything I got wrong there.
No worries, bro. No worries. My knowledge of Marvel Comics is, listen, I'm the Marvel guy. DC, Lawrence is the DC Comics guy. But still, we help each other and we learn from each other. And it is always my humble pleasure to be here amongst you gents.
Okay.
you know I gotta do that and everything, because
it was
Logic. He's always dropping gems.
Also, I want to add something, and I really wish Lawrence was here so he could really go toss this back and forth. You have to understand something. Most fans of sci-fi don't like serious drama. And most fans of serious drama, they actually hate sci-fi. So it's very rare when you have a project that combines both. And if you're going to leave out the silliness of both and have the best of both worlds, you're going to have a very small audience. And both audiences don't like anything that mixes religion into it. And when it comes to fantasy, people who like religious stuff hate anything to do with fantasy. They see it as a personal attack. And fans of sci-fi, you'll get more fans of sci-fi who are fans of fantasy than you will fans of serious drama. So if you have anything that combines all four of those elements, you're guaranteed a very, very small audience. So that's why you see everything in the MCU and the MCU was dumbed down from what Marvel Comics were, because everything has to be drama that only goes no higher than an eighth grade mind. So you have to keep that in mind when you look at how they've destroyed comics, and they've destroyed the MCU, and even whatever the heck is going on over at DC and Warner Brothers.
Oh boy.
Yeah, at this point, what they're doing, I don't even know if you could say it's an 8th grade mind.
Yeah, all I'll say is this, man. You know, again, the worst thing that ever happened to comics was when they let people from Hollywood come in, because the Hollywood playbook went into full effect. They know what you want. They know what you like. They're going to destroy it on purpose. It's going to piss you off. It's going to get you mad, but you're going to talk about it. And Hollywood, everything for Hollywood is about buzz. In their minds, the only things that make money are things that have buzz around it. So by destroying it, you give that buzz. And it brings in new fans who are going to be fickle, but they're going to support it. But then you, existing fans, you keep supporting it as well instead of walking away. So when they've destroyed it and they run it down to nothing, then they give you one little breadcrumb, and then you're happy again, and you say that there's hope again. And this is the Hollywood playbook over and over and over again. And until you realize that and learn to walk away from the things that you love, they won't stop doing it.
So would you say that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was like that little ray of hope that they gave us?
Funny enough that you say that. It was, but it was a very small ray of hope.
Okay.
An even better example would be Andor. Andor was a good show. It was a really good show. The first 3 episodes were a bit rough, but it got really good. Andor, once you get past those first 3 rough episodes, it's a really, really good show. Very cerebral, great serious drama, well written, well acted. But then look at what they did with season 3 of Mandalorian. First 3 episodes were gold. Then after that, it went into the complete crapper. Then you see with this Ahsoka garbage and everything else that they've done. Okay, they know what you want. So it's the Hollywood playbook. So my concern is, what are they going to do with Andor season 2? Are they going to continue what they did in season 1, or are they going to pull the Hollywood playbook back out?
I haven't looked at it. I tapped out on everything with the Mandalorian season 2. I just knew it was going to go downhill, so I unsubbed from Disney Minus. So I'll say, I think based on what you said, at best you might get a season 2 out of it. You might get the Mandalorian thing where you get a decent season 2, and then season 3 will just be straight crap. Or they might give you 1 or 2 to kind of rope you in, rope people in to think then they're just gonna unload crap on you there. I just don't expect them to.
Yo, this bait and switch bullshit is annoying as fuck.
Wait,
you think you're seeing a good show and then they rip
the who?
Rug pull you.
The who?
Bait and switch, I think.
The bait and switch, like you said with the Mandalorian, right? The Mandalorian started up. Everybody and his sweet grandma Esther was singing its praises. Then season 3 came, and they felt like all is well. Season episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. We're going down. We're going. That was it.
After episode 3, the Mandalorian just they doused themselves in gasoline and lit themselves on fire.
And you know what, Logic? I have to say that whenever they fired Gina Carano, I knew I was like, oh, it's going downhill. It's not going to be good anymore. It was, to me, that right there was a sign to say, hey, look, get out now while you can, because it's not going to be worth grabbing.
Firing Gina Carano is an unforgivable sin, an absolutely unforgivable sin. She may not be the best actor, fair enough, but she was good in her role as Cara Dune, and they were giving her her own show, and they were going to spin her off into other shows. Good, and then they fired her for all this woke garbage.
Ooh.
Unforgivable sin.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Look at, in fact, look at what they did with Secret Invasion.
I didn't even know.
They took a brilliant story and they
Yep.
pissed all over it. I watched the first episode. I did not like the first episode. The second episode, I couldn't get past the first 5 minutes. As soon as Don Cheadle and Sam Jackson, Rhodes and Nick Fury started to talk, all that black kumbaya victim nonsense, I cut it off. I did not go back. And I saw a clip online of the final fight from the last episode because I completely walked away after the first 5 minutes of episode 2. But I saw clips of that final fight from the last episode of that's supposed to be the Super Skrull, but it was so silly, stupid, and over the top. Again, that's the Hollywood playbook. You have to walk away from these things because if you don't, they're going to keep doing it. And they know you won't walk away. And because you're not walking away, they keep pulling out the Hollywood playbook.
Mm-hmm. And being we're there, I think the funny thing is that they've gotten a little slicker because now they're only going to release one crappy movie a year to keep people biting on the hook to come back. Hey, look, it's the only. Keep them saying, "Hey, look, it's the only one. We got to go see it." All the thing I tell you, hey, look, y'all go right on ahead and see it. I'm gonna stay right at home.
Well, I'm gonna use a word that I actually hate using. As Eisen is my witness. I hate using this word. Sigma can confirm, but I think it's appropriate here. When I look at the superhero movies, I see a superhero Fast and Furious franchise with a gynocratic twist. That's really, which is great for Fast and Furious because you now just expect ridiculousness. It's horrible for comics, especially for those who value the original material.
Oh, so everything's over the top.
Exactly.
Dang.
It started off good, and next thing you know, cars in space. That's pretty much what has happened to. That's pretty much what's happened to the superhero movies, man.
Again, that is the Hollywood playbook. They know what you want. They know what you like. They don't care. They will destroy it on purpose because they know you love it. You won't walk away. You'll get mad, but you're still going to talk about it. You're still going to hate watch it. And you're still going to give them your money. A hate watching dollar and a fanboy dollar are exactly the same to studio heads.
Yes.
They don't care. And they know that when you finally get pissed off and start to walk away, then they're going to give you a little breadcrumb. And then you being the suckers that you are going to say, they're listening to us. They're finally giving us what they want. There's hope again. But there's not. There isn't.
Okay.
You have to walk away and don't come back until they stop what they're doing. And you know what? Christopher Nolan, after he made The Dark Knight Rises, he said he didn't want to do any more comic book hero movies. And I didn't like when he said that, but now I understand why. Because even when he made that movie, when it came out in 2012, I still didn't realize, I couldn't see it even after decades of being alive. I didn't understand what the Hollywood playbook is. But now, years later, I see it. And he made a brilliant decision because Warner Brothers would have pushed it to complete silliness.
Well, and not only that, they also would have pushed some crap on him instead of allowing him to create his own vision. they would have wanted to push out some garbage, and I think that's the other reason why he just wanted to get out too.
Well, he's also in that rarefied air. There's nothing he can't do. There's nothing he can't do at this point. So between Denis Villeneuve and Darren Aronofsky and Christopher Nolan, Those are pretty much your best directors on the planet. Anything that they want to do, it's gonna get green light. I'm sorry, green lit. Whatever the budget is that they want, they're gonna get it. But again, that's a very rarefied air.
And I don't mean to make a slight pivot, but did y'all see the new Oppenheimer?
No,
Not yet.
I
I want
haven't
to.
gotten around to
I
it.
have.
I
I'm
want
so
to.
busy, but I really want to go see it.
I want to too.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll
as
hold off on it then.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we'll hold off
We'll
on
hold
it.
off, but I
Yeah,
will say
y'all should
this
see it.
as a World War II historian, very good movie. Very good movie.
It's
I
Nolan
agree.
has made a bad movie in his career.
Okay. I want to
Yeah, I
ask.
agree.
I want to ask you a question, Logic.
Yes, sir.
Going with the Hollywood playbook. I know you've been seeing a lot of what's going on with the strike. And the one question that has been coming, or the one point of contention that has been coming up, are two magical letters. AI. Do you think they're going to use the models of what I've been seeing that we're actually they're going to be, or they're trying to make models using actors' likenesses so they can use virtual AI actors that can what they're trying to do anyway, be able to act in the same kind of style as people and also have AI for writing. Do you think that's going to play a part in that playbook as well? And if so, how do you think it will do it?
Okay. First off, short answer to your question about are the studios planning to use that in any way that they possibly can? Absolutely, 100% yes. The next thing, I have been on the both sides of labor negotiations, both blue collar and white collar. I've been on the employee side, I've been on the employer side. And there's anything, I don't care what is said in public, if it's a laundry list of 3 items or if it's a laundry list of 20 items, a labor union always comes down to either one of those items, at the most 2, that they're absolutely drawing a line, no compromise. This is what they're going to take their people out on strike for. It's always 1, at the most 2. You're never going to get more than 3, ever. And this strike is about 2 things. There's 2 issues. They're absolutely drawing the line, and they put their members out on strike. 1 is AI. 2 is the Netflix business model. That's why they're on strike. Those 2 reasons. Everything else are things that they want, they'd like to have, but they're not going to go out on strike. Those are the 2 things that they're going to go out on strike for. Now, with the Netflix business model, canceling original content after year 3, because in Hollywood, after year 3 is when actors renegotiate their deals. They also, with the smaller writers' rooms, and then with the residuals, when Orange is the New Black was the biggest show in America, if not the entire planet, those actors are now saying that they made nothing, next to nothing, no residuals. So, and again, with the 8 to 10 episodes per season, so the residuals and everything else, that model, Hollywood is adopting the Netflix business model more and more. So that's why they're on strike. As for the AI follows that up. Eventually, if they could make AI actors, they absolutely would. And for the scripts, even if the scripts are dull, even if they're trope, plug it in, boom, you have an entire script punched out instead of paying a writer. Do you know that some of the highest paid writers in Hollywood have deals where they're paid millions and they're on retainer? They're not even writing, they're just on retainer for millions. If you can eliminate that and you're a studio head, why wouldn't you do it? Even if the script is going to be weak garbage, at least you're not paying millions for your lead writer and then hundreds of thousands for your staff writers. So yeah, AI and the Netflix business model, they go hand in hand, and it's going to change the industry. It's already affecting the artists. Next, it's going to affect the writers.
How do you feel about AI personally, as yourself personally? Would you use it And why not?
Personally, no, because one, it's not actual intelligence. It's a really advanced algorithm, and it's only going to put out what the programmer puts into the algorithm. It's an algorithm. It's not actual intelligence. Number two, I'm old school. There's nothing like the creativity of the human mind. You can't tell me an AI is going to give me a better comic book story than Chuck Dixon. You can't tell me AI is going to give me better art than John Byrne. It's not going to happen. You're not going to tell me that AI is going to give me a better novel than anything written by any of the great authors that you can think of that I'm blanking off the top of my head right now.
R.A. Salvatore, Lyndon Hardy.
Tools, yes, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was listening off the ones that I was listening like R.A. Salvatore, Lyndon Hardy, those guys.
Yeah, exactly. My thing is, as a tool for someone to use, I'm all for it. It's a tool, but as something to replace creators, I will never advocate for something artificial replacing creators ever.
Okay.
So, I'm assuming I can be heard now.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, coming in good.
You can.
I swear, 2 reboots, 4 different browsers, and here I am, and I still got no guarantee. So we'll take it until I'm no longer here, I guess. So I'm assuming we're on the AI aspect now. Personally, I would pretty much have to co-sign with everything Logic said. I don't think there's anything I would say any different. I think where the writers are concerned, I think from a personal perspective, I have no sorrow for them. I really don't. Well, I mean, look, a lot of them sit around talking about AI replacing them and stealing and etc. so on. But for all intents and purposes, especially the last 20 years with the MCU, what do you think you've done? Every movie you've created has came from some creator from the comic book industry. I don't see their families getting a cut of the money you asking for. I don't see their name showing up in the credits like they supposed to. It said, it says written by, and it doesn't even say adaptation. It just says written by so and so, screenplay by so and so. Where's Jack Kirby? Where's Steve Ditko? Where's Jerry Siegel? Joe Shuster? I mean, if we're gonna play the game, let's play the game across the board. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And in addition to that, and I'm pretty sure Logic might know about this because I'm pretty sure he's seen it. I think a week or two ago, Neon on Clownfish TV had actually did a breakdown of what the studios were offering the writers. So if you were getting $9,888 per week for your job, and the studio is now offering you $11,000 a week for 9 to 10 weeks of work, that means in the space of 2 months and 7 to 14 days, you can make over 100 grand. And what is the writer's response? That's not enough. Yeah, dude, you're not going to get no sympathy from me.
I will say this. You're 100% right about that. It's not a right or wrong thing, but their position is that what the studios do is when they hire you as a writer, you are a contract employee, yes, but you're contracted to that studio. You cannot work for any other studio. So you're going to work between 6 to 8 to 10 weeks.
Right.
Yes, you're going to make anywhere from 30 to 50 to 110,000. Yes, but then you can't do anything at all for the rest of the year. So their contention is they should at least be able to either work for other studios or pay us more for the one studio. So,
but here's the problem with that. In order for them to get what they want, they would have to be treated like independent contractors. And if they're treated like independent contractors, then they lose the entire concept of healthcare in the union, because independent contractors in the creative fields don't really have unions, at least not like SAG and the rest of them.
They don't
And
at
the other
all.
and the other problem that I have is that they're playing fast and loose with the word writer, because again, 9 times out of 10, the last 4 years, easy, damn near every movie we've got has been an adaptation, a rewrite, a reboot of somebody else's work. So really, where's the writer part here?
Exactly.
Damn,
You're 100% because look
fucking
at
bars.
okay, well, look at this look at this Flash movie or the Flush. So they they took that story from Flashpoint. That's Ethan Van Sciver's work. He wasn't even credited in the film. All
Actually,
right.
actually, truth be told, the artwork was Ethan Van Sciver. The writing was Jeff Johns.
There you go.
And here's the problem, and here's and how easy
Oh,
it is
you
to
went
go
out.
over. Yeah, I'm sorry. Am I back?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you're
yes.
back.
Hit it,
Yes,
hit
you're
it.
back now. You're
Okay,
Yeah,
back.
you good. You good.
okay. So here's where that cliff gets dangerous with playing that game. See, if the writers in Hollywood want to sit there and complain about not getting paid as a writer, then you have to make the argument that since you took Flashpoint as a story, then Jeff Johns needs to get paid. But if you want to play that kind of card, then what you have to turn around and say, well, Jeff Johns wrote the story, but the creation of the Flash belongs to Jeff Bloom
Uh-oh.
and Carmine Infantino. Then you got to turn around and
Oh,
if you're gonna do that, now you got to go pay well, Bob Kane doesn't have any family, but Robinson and Bill Finger's family, Athena, Athena is Finger, you know what I'm talking about, Finger.
Yes, 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 yes.
I keep forgetting his first.
Hello?
Bill Finger's granddaughter is Athena. Okay, I know her. Okay, so by that very definition, she should be get paid. She should be getting paid for the legacy of our grandfather.
Okay,
I mean, so that's why I'm saying it's a slippery slope to go down that road about, well, I wrote this, I wrote that, because the question now becomes, did you really, or did you,
so
or are you just playing in somebody else's sandbox?
So to follow on that, we had that horrible, absolutely horrible Green Lantern movie. Now, and I'll say it again, not because of Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds gave a good performance, but the movie is still garbage. So, Parallax and the other cores, the Lantern Corps, again, Ethan Van Sciver, he did not create Sinestro, he did not create Parallax, but he created all of the other Lantern Corps. So you have to pay Ethan Van Sciver. You got to pay Jeff Johns. You don't want to do that. What about Mike? What about Mike Barron? He hasn't been paid. He has not been paid for his work. Chuck Dixon has said he got paid because he created Bane, so they paid him for Dark Knight Rises, but for nothing else.
Yeah,
So
but he was no better than Ed Brubaker, because I think Ed Brubaker just got like a free ticket to the premiere and a $5,000 check.
boom. And so what
damn.
I'm saying is, I'm adding on to your point. These Hollywood writers, especially with these comic book movies, they're not writers. They're adapting stories. So how much talent does it take to adapt a story, especially when you hate the source material because you're changing? But again, I understand that that's the Hollywood playbook. But to further on to your point, they're adapting established canon. So what are they actually writing? They're not creating anything. And we've all heard the stories that a lot of these people, they see these gigs at Marvel and DC and then writing on these movies. They see it as stepping stones to other writing gigs because they want to be actual writers. And as I've told you, my daughter has two friends who both work for Marvel. One's a PA, the other is a writer. And several of their friends, that's their thing. They don't like Marvel. They don't like comics. They hate it. But they see it as a stepping stone to pad their resume to go and do something else.
Right. Well, and
Oh my bad.
that's the problem. Here's where it comes in. Because of the success of Iron Man and the MCU, that's the only reason those people are in the comic book industry, because they think it's going to lead them to writing the next big blockbuster or somebody takes their story. But again, speaking as someone who's part of the Writers Guild, okay, I mean, as a member myself, this is one of the reasons why I can't talk to anybody, because I know what's going on. I know what's really being said, and my argument stands where exactly where I said it is. At the end of the day, you have not written anything. You have not. There's nothing. Every single thing for the last 20 years has either been a reboot of somebody else's old work, or you've adapted somebody else's story. Again, that's old work. Because, like I said, if you want to play this game and you want to talk about how you're not paid enough for writing, the truth of the matter is you didn't write anything. You copied somebody's homework. And now you're sitting here and you're complaining that you don't get paid enough. But yet, if you were really as sincere as you were, if you were really as woke as you talk about, then how come you're not talking about the people whose work you stole to do that adaptation? That's my malfunction. Because, like I said, we
No,
can't
so
have
funny.
it both ways.
No, so funny. Every single one of these movies from both the MCU and DC, not a single original story has come out yet. Not even one.
Not one, and you won't.
And here's my thing. I know y'all were talking about them taking other writers' content, and it's basically a reboot or adaptation. At this point, what they're doing is so god awful. I don't even know if you can even call it adaptation or a reboot, because it's complete gutter trash compared to what they're taking from.
But here's the funny part about what you said, Eisen. And I know this is what you were doing, but I just want to clarify it for everybody listening. What Eisen just said only proves the point of what Logic and I are already talking about, where they're not real writers. See, because and that's the problem. We've talked about this many a times before. Everything is merit based. If you're a good writer, your books sell. If you're not, they go in the trash bin at the dollar bin section of wherever you go. And the same thing applies to movies. It's gutter snipe.
And here's the other thing too. To even kind of go off of the point that Logic was making about, his daughter's friends having these jobs and just seeing it as a stepping stone. I mean, how much of an idiot do you have to be to pump out trash to think somebody wants to pay you more for another freaking job? I mean, it would make sense. I mean, yeah. I mean, but it would make sense. It would make sense. It would make much more sense, even if you don't like this stuff, to put out a quality product. That way, whenever you get to another interview, hey, look, I've done this. It made this much off of my work, off of my ideas. So you could get more freaking money. I don't know. I go.
How much of an idiot can you be to get it wrong when all of it was already done for you? It's not like you picked up a novel and you had to figure out what the characters look like. You had the writing and the pictures and the layout and the storyboards already there, and you still got it wrong.
Is it idiocy or is it malice? At that
Again,
point,
I have to go back
Both.
to the Hollywood playbook. This is the Hollywood playbook. They have done this for decades. They know what you want. They know what you like. They destroy it on purpose. It pisses you off. It gets you angry. You talk about it. It creates buzz. Hollywood sees Hollywood things. As long as you talk about it, whether it's good or bad, it's still good. As long as they're talking about you, they can manage public expectations. It brings in new fans. Then the new fans love it. They talk about it. You argue amongst each other. You hate watch it, but you're giving them your money. A hate watching dollar and a fanboy dollar are exactly the same. Eventually, when they run it down into the ground, then they give you something good. They give you one little breadcrumb, and you fall for it, hook, line, and sinker every time.
Not even a breadcrumb, a member berry. That's what they give us.
Yeah.
Like Star Trek Picard season 3, seeing the Enterprise D again. That's a member berry. Seeing the crew together, it's a member berry. But it was still a crappy story. It's still a crappy show.
Offended me on every level. I hate Picard season 3. That show was written for third graders.
Damn.
That show offends my intelligence on every level possible. Nothing about that season
that's
made
what they
any sense.
yeah. They'll piss you off so much. Then at the last minute, they'll give you a couple of member berries, which brings everybody back to watch it. You know what I'm saying? So in addition to hate watching, now they're getting you to spend
Exactly, and
on
that's
That
the
money.
you
Hollywood
know hate watching.
playbook. So you have to
Yeah.
But like I
understand. I'm sorry.
but like I
Okay.
said, I'm sorry.
No, please go.
What I was saying is, but I tried to tell people this before. We've been seeing this as far back as the '90s. It started with television sitcoms because the first season or two, you'll have the dad be on point, and he's top dog in the whole 9 yards, and he's acting. And by the second, third season, he turns into a bubbling fool that his wife and kids have to rescue all the time. We've been seeing this as far back. That's when, in my opinion, it started in the '90s with that. It started with the sitcom and the fathers, and then it
Yep.
just bled over time over time. And you see it with everything, even not fathers. Look at the first 2 seasons of Friends, and then look at the last 7 seasons of Friends, and look at the difference between Ross. Because Ross Geller in the beginning of the show, the first 2-3 seasons, he was the responsible one. He had his money on point. He kept everybody in line. Yada 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 yada. Third, fourth season, he's a bumbling idiot. I mean, I'm being honest. This is what they do. Same thing if you look at Blackish. Look how Andre was the first season or two, and then look at him for the last 3, 4. I said they've been doing
Yeah,
this since
I
the
mean,
90s.
I gotta
yeah,
be
because
honest with you. I don't watch anything black, so I didn't watch Blackish.
It's
you're
I was
not
just
missing
gonna say
nothing.
I
You're
was just
not.
gonna say I have my bad.
Blackish is wackish.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I haven't
And
watched any sitcoms since my God, since Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Yeah,
Family
Yeah.
Matters, that whole era, it just got out
yeah.
since
I
then.
mean,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
there's a reason Hulu's popular because everybody's tired of watching it direct on TV, so they go to Hulu to watch the reruns of the stuff they know. You know what I'm saying?
Again,
Yeah.
it's the
What?
Hollywood playbook. You have to walk away. You can't be
Mhm.
afraid to walk
You have
away.
to.
And when
Yeah,
people say, "Well, we don't want Disney to fail. We don't want DC to fail," at this point, yes, you should. You want them to fail. You want them to go away, and you want independence to take their place, or at the very least, you want them to fail and have some other company buy them and then start from scratch, who won't
right.
follow the Hollywood playbook. That's what you
Yeah,
should want. But
yeah.
because you don't, they keep doing what they're doing, and you keep hate watching, you keep talking about it, you keep live streaming, and they won't stop. You are the
And
problem, fans. You are.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Uh-oh.
and then I know for y'all too, it's difficult being Star Trek and you're what Doctor Who.
I'm
I know for
everything.
y'all it's
I'm
difficult just
ev-
tapping, just having to tap out. You wanted to do better, but it's like, yeah, hey, I'm the
Well,
same way
well,
when it comes to Star Wars. I'm like, yeah, I can't spend another dime on this.
but see, it runs. But see, it runs. And don't get me wrong, guys. And I'm not taking from you. I know your love of Star
Mhm.
Wars. This is not what this is about.
Oh
But
yeah,
with
yeah.
but with myself and Logic, Doctor Who and Star Trek were the focal point. But we loved everything. That's why
Right,
we
yeah,
know
yeah.
that's why we know about Blake 7. That's why we know about Space 1999. That's why we know about that cheesy movie with Sean Connery walking around in a loincloth with no shirt. That's why that's why we know Logan's Run and all that other stuff. I mean, because we love sci-fi fantasy. And like I said, with both of us, we're rounding the corner. We got a little bit of time, but we're rounding the corner to 60. You just literally came in and told us our entire life meant nothing just by taking away all that stuff.
Funny.
And it's
Well, it's basically, but to Logic's point, and I'm glad that y'all are more like in depth. I'm from, as far as this conversation, like I'm from the outside looking in, but basically what I gather from it is that because of the fans, Hollywood has lost any type of incentive to at least incorporate some type of creativity into their propaganda, because they've always had propaganda, Yeah, the studios, yeah, because they've always had propaganda, but they've always, at least from what I've seen, they at least try to weave in some creativity. Let's care about the storyline. Let's care about the character arcs. Let's care about those things, so that people at least buy into the propaganda. But because fans are now programmed to see something because of a title and because of maybe some nostalgia, there's no incentive to be creative anymore. We can just push the propaganda. We can make Little Mermaid black or Snow White a Latina, or we could do all of these things with no care in the world because we know that fans are still gonna buy that ticket. They're
Well,
Well,
here,
still gonna
well,
watch.
well,
well, here's the problem. Here's the problem. First of all, and I'm pretty sure Logic's going to agree with me on this. We always had politics in our stuff. We always had ideology in our stuff. I mean, for crying out loud, we grew up at the civil rights era, women burning their bras, with the female movement, Black Panthers. It's always been political. Hell, All in the Family was the whole concept was being political. That's never been the problem. Politics and ideology, whether it be All in the Family, all the way up to movies like Easy Rider, it's never been about that. It's been about the quality of you explaining that ideology. It's about the quality of you explaining the politics. It's about you telling the story that where you show one side, you also show the opposite side, and it's left up to me to decide which way I want to fall on it. But that's not what's happening. It's not even about creativity. It's just about these people today simply come in with a club and beat you on the head and tell you you're going to like this, even if you don't know what they're talking about, even if you haven't even read it yet. It don't matter. I made it. You have to like it. Boom, 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 boom. That's what we have.
there was a word that succinctly, sorry, there was a word for what Lawrence just described. It's called allegory. So
Mm.
I've been a fan of Doctor Who since 1977, when I was a boy. In my opinion, one of the best stories was a story called Warrior's Gate. So I know none of you guys are Doctor Who fans, but basically, humans have discovered time travel, and each ship needs a navigator because the humans technology can't actually travel time, so each ship has its own navigator, and this one ship gets caught and it's carrying a group of these navigators. They're half human, half lions. They're evolved over millions of years. That story is an allegory for slavery, but you didn't see it because, again, it's an allegory. As Lawrence said, it's how you tell the story. Now, these writers have no creativity. They wouldn't know the first thing about what allegory is. So it's, you must like this, boom. And if you don't like this, you are an ist or a phobe. And that is what Hollywood has become. The next thing, you have to understand about quality. There's studio heads on one end, and there's directors on the other end. Directors are all about the art. They just want to make the best art possible. Studio heads don't care about art. They never have, and they never will. Ironically, all they care about are butts and seats, eyeballs in front of screens, and money. In the middle of those
Numbers.
two is the producer. The producer has to do just enough to keep the studio happy and do just enough to keep the director happy, and hopefully try to keep them both happy and make some sort of a product that's going to make money but also have enough artistic value to keep the director
Right.
happy. Studio heads, they don't care. They never have. Where do you think that Hollywood playbook comes from? It didn't come from directors. It came from studio heads because they don't care. They never have, and they never will. So
That's correct.
any creativity in Hollywood is at the small studios, the independents, and it's directors like Nolan, like Villeneuve, like Aronofsky, who somehow managed to go to the major studios and make these blockbusters, but they're auteurs, they're quality films. That's why I said, listen, I haven't gotten around to seeing Oppenheimer yet. I want to. I've been busy. He hasn't made a bad film in his life. Even a film that I didn't want to see, which was Dunkirk, still brilliant.
Yeah.
And to your point, earlier, Logic, about about Hollywood, about people not, just stopping. I think it's been one of my biggest gripes about quote unquote Star Wars fans that their whole thing is, well, it's Star Wars, so I got to go see it. And then, but yet, you're going to complain whenever you paid money, but to go see this crap, you're going to keep doing it, but then complain about it. I mean, that's why I was like, there's no way I could just keep buying into this when I see where it's going. It's going down, and it's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
And Hollywood knows.
And the sad part is,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No logic. Go ahead.
Hollywood knows you won't walk away. They know the playbook. They've written the playbook. You love it, you won't walk away. They can destroy it and piss on it, you still won't walk away. You get mad, you talk about it, that creates buzz, and you're gonna hate watch it. A hate watching dollar and a fanboy dollar are exactly the same to a studio head. They spend the same. They don't care. Until you stop the hate watching, until you walk away. It was difficult for me to walk away from Doctor Who. I've been a fan since '77. When I was
A good year.
Thank you.
That's when I was born, actually. That's why it's a good year.
Youngster. So I walked away. Doctor Who is a middle-aged British white.
And I get it. Like I said, I've had to do it with Star Trek. I mean, seriously. So it's one of those situations where it's a cycle. They're feeding off each other, because you want to be a fan and you're so angry at what's going on, you hate watch it so you can make commentary videos. But by you hate watching it, you're letting them know that they're getting your attention and your money to be able to do that. Then to make matters worse, you turn it around. They've shown you they don't care to lose money to push this agenda, because their movies that should be making triple digit millions is making single digit millions. You know what I'm saying? And they still don't care, and they're still pushing it. So it's just one of those situations, that at the end of the day, this is just what it is. And like I said, one's feeding the other. That's all it is. Because as soon as it fails in the movie theater, instead of saying they didn't make a good movie, they're going to say that everybody hate watched it and spread rumors that it was bad and drop it down. And then and vice versa with the people who are making the hate videos. If you hate it, see, I've always been one of the people. If I hate something, I leave it. I don't bother with it. I don't mess with it at all. But yet, for the sake of YouTube subscribers and that YouTube money, you'll hate watch. So stop telling me, that you hate it.
As a matter of fact, Lawrence, it's at the point.
What's it called? Outrage culture? Is that what it's called? Free zone?
Yeah, that's what it's called. And as a matter of fact, they've perfected it to a T, to where they do all of that before the movie even comes out.
Yep.
They'll drop a trailer, or they'll drop a screenplay of what the movie's about. People will get all riled up. Then they come with their prepared excuses. Before anybody even sees a trailer, everybody already is hating. The hate is already riled up.
Remember the first time they because there's two times that happened. The first one was a soft attack. The second one was a hard attack, and they were both female films. The first one was that new Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
that was a soft attack. With what you're talking about, the hard attack was when they redid Charlie's Angels, and they came straight out saying this ain't for men. This is for women. And then when we don't show up and it fails, it's all men's fault. I'm just, dude.
Oh yeah, and they were saying that, like, right after the trailer dropped, like, if you don't like this movie, you don't like women, and you're misogynist and all this stuff. It's like, we ain't even seen the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bruh.
Because the director for the last Terminator movie did that. This character is gonna scare the shit out of misogynistic men. I'm like, dude, it's a robot movie. Chill.
Damn.
I mean, it's a robot movie. Get a grip, bro.
People don't understand the Hollywood playbook, and once you understand once you see it, you can't unsee it. And every time a film fails, I sit back and I watch. Okay, they're gonna attack the fans. That's the first thing they do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
After they attack the fans, they attack things that don't matter. it was the weather, it was the weekend, there were some other films out. Once that doesn't happen, then they find
Yeah.
something else to blame. It's always you. It's always the fans. It's always you. It's something else that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Attack.
Yeah.
And you,
That's all fine and dandy, but what if I'm not a fan?
But hey, it is what it is. But like I said, like
Hey,
what it's like going back to what I said about the Terminator thing with the whole misogyny thing. I'm like, damn, it's just a robot movie. Even if we wanted to remove that, they act like filmmaking didn't start until they showed. It's like, well, you've never seen a female robot and yada yada yada. Dude, we've already done this in like Terminator 3. We've seen a female robot. What are you talking about? Well, I'm the first female action hero, Jennifer Lawrence. Really? Sigourney Weaver? Anybody? I don't. I mean,
wait,
dude, what are you
stop.
talking?
Time out.
Yeah.
Time out. If we want to talk female robots, let's see. Let's talk about the Bionic Woman from the
Bionic Woman, yeah.
1970s. Okay.
Which, by the way, Lindsay Wagner was always easy on the eyes. I'm just saying.
Always easy on the eyes.
I'm just saying.
But again, when you have a group of people who, in fact, you know what? Listen, when you have a younger generation that doesn't know history, that disregards history, people can make statements like that because our generation, Lawrence, Generation X, you can't say things like that to us because we know the history. We watched what came before us. We read what came before us.
Let me just say this.
Millennials and Gen Z, they don't do that. So when
I
things
know.
like that are said, they eat that crap up.
I know, but it's
My
just,
bad.
but it's just one of those things where how how is a Gen Z or a millennial are you going to look at me and talk about female action heroes when I used to turn on my TV every week on ABC just to watch Linda.
Linda Carter as Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I remember
Ooh, boy,
And-
man.
And then,
I-
heck, I mean,
That's a
And
prime
mind-
white woman
yeah.
that was.
And mind you, I didn't have to pay for it. It was on free TV.
It was on free
sir.
TV.
Yes, sir.
And-
Yes.
I'm
And-
just saying, I don't
and in
know.
my era,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
my bad. I was gonna say, and in my era, I mean, heck, we had Lucy Lawless as Xena.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah.
wait,
forgot about
wait,
that.
wait,
Not
hold
yes,
on, wait,
ma'am.
wait,
Well,
wait,
yes, ma'am to her.
Hold on,
Yes, ma'am to her.
Hold on,
Not
hold
me.
on, hold on. Let me say this. This is important. This is important.
Hold on. Wait. Okay, I get the fact she had a cute face, but other than that, it's yeah. She had
Hold
nice
on, bro.
eyes,
See,
nice face.
that's why I told you to hold on because I knew you
I
were
wasn't
gonna go
talking
there.
about looks. I was talking about the show.
I know.
Yeah.
But hold on a second. Let me handle truism real quick and we can get back to it. See, I knew you were gonna go there with that. See, Lucy Lawless is an acquired taste, and I acquire it. But what you fail to understand is people watch the show to watch Lucy fight. But as far as it goes for ass, they watched it for Gabrielle.
Yeah. Okay.
So we need
Yeah,
so
okay,
so so,
all right,
so we
yeah.
need to keep it in perspective there, bro.
Okay, I got you.
Especially
Yeah,
every
yeah.
especially every season that skirt kept getting shorter. That
Yeah,
top
man.
kept getting-
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
man. Yeah, man.
realistically speaking,
Yeah, man.
they gave us a little favor for no matter what side you wanted
Amen.
to land on.
Amen. Okay,
Might I
okay.
interject?
I'm gonna touch you on that one, brother. Yeah. Amen on that.
I had to clear you up there, brother, because I knew you was gonna go there.
Might I interject?
Go ahead, Logic. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Logic. Go
Might I
ahead.
interject.
Yes,
For
sir.
anyone who doubts Lucy Lawless and her ability to act, I highly recommend you watch Lucy Lawless on season 2, 3, and 4 of Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
And watch her in Spartacus.
Spartacus,
season 1.
yeah. Yep.
If you have any
Yeah, I heard
doubt
she did really
as
Yeah.
to
well in
her
Spartacus.
She
ability
did.
to act, it will
I
be
did see that.
completely
You're right.
removed. Lucy Lawless is a good actor.
Well, I never
She
had a
is.
problem. I
She is a good-
I never concerned myself with her being an actor. I mean, I always thought she was good. I did. So
Plus, personally, you may call her an acquired taste. listen, she got a rise out of me the first time I ever saw her.
Oh no. Yeah, when I say acquired taste, I mean everybody's got their own thing. For me, I'm good with Lucy. Personally speaking, I'd rather have Lucy than Gabrielle. Just saying.
I don't know about that, bro.
You know what? I think I should play
I don't
this.
see nothing.
This is
I don't see nothing
appropriate.
wrong with Lucy. Yes, sir.
You know what? And I'm gonna be honest. I always liked it better when Kalisto came on the scene. That always, you know. But
You know
anyway,
what? That's another one. A little too skinny for my taste, but I can work with her. She was good looking.
She was perfect for me.
What was her name? Leek Hudson. Leek Hudson. Yeah, Leek Hudson.
She was
That's her name.
perfect.
Yeah.
Lucy Lawless has a beautiful face. Like that face is amazing, top tier. But it seems like, and I think, and she used to be a porn star, stuff like that. Her body, it didn't.
What you? I'm
She was never a porn star. What are you
Her
talking
body,
about?
What are you talking?
unfortunately. Wait,
here we go.
You didn't know Lucy Lawson was a porn star?
She
You didn't
was
know that?
never a porn star. What are you
Yes, she
talking
was.
about?
Hold on a second.
Maybe he's confusing her with China.
Oh no, sir. No. I'm gonna look this up right now. Because I believe when I looked it up on her biography, it did say that she was a porn star in Australia, something like that. So let me just look this up. But anyway, regardless of that, she has very nice piercing blue eyes, nice white girl. She had the nice dark hair, so she had the kind of the goth girl kind of thing going for her. Facially, yes, all day long. But you got, if you're going to go into that, you got to go with the expressive intent of knocking her up so she can get a body on her. You got to do it. Yes, bitch. Yeah, yes. Hi, I'm the father of your baby. You are going to plump the fuck up because I'm going to make sure every child I have looks just like you. Know that for a fact. That's what you got to go with the express intent of.
Might I segue this conversation?
Well,
go ahead, Logic. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Logic. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay. Might I segue this conversation back to the state of male entertainment, whether it be Foundation, whether it be House of the Dragon, whether it be whatever you gents are watching, whatever it is. Let's talk about that, and let's leave the women's physiques. Let's table that conversation.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Like I said, saying they look good and stuff like that is okay, but starting to get into specific anatomy, I think is a bit.
Well, I'll say this: I'm kind of amped. I can't wait for season 2 of Reacher to start. Coming out. I did like that season 1. If you have not seen season 1 of Reacher, check it out. I think you'll like it.
There's a strike going on, so I don't know how soon we're going to be getting season 2
Yeah, I know.
of anything.
Yeah, no. God. Thank God for anime.
I'm about to say I'm cool with reruns.
What are you watching right? What are you guys watching right now? I know I'm watching Baki, Son of Ogre. I know I'm watching that right. Baki Hanma, Son of Ogre. They got the second set of seasons out right now. They're going through the pickle arc. I don't know if anybody's familiar with like Baki like that, but that's what I'm watching right now.
Yeah, I've been watching that off and on too. I still haven't finished the first season, but do you know King and Ashura? Atrism?
Oh, Kengan Ashura? Woo! Whoa, one of my favorite manliest animes of all time. That was amazing. It's right up there with manliest animes of all time. Fist of the North Star, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I would say Kengan Ashura, Baki. I think that's for me, most manliest animes. Think about it. I was going to say Votoms, but that's something a little bit different. That's something that I wouldn't say that was really manly, but it was an interesting show. But yeah, Kengan Ashura, yes, all day.
Yeah, so that's coming out in September.
Yes, I cannot wait.
I know myself. Yeah, I know myself. Besides Bleach and watching season 2, I've also been watching the remake of Rurouni Kenshin. And so
Oh yeah, me
far,
too.
it's been very
Oh,
good.
live action ones?
Yeah,
No, it's
it's
a
another
anime
anime.
remake.
No. They've been putting the anime back out. I have not started on that yet. I've actually, of course, doing Bleach. I was watching an actual cycling anime, Yowamushi Pedal. I finished that one. I don't know if they're going to end up keep doing another season of that, but finished up season 2 of Vinland Saga. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was great. I've been trying to look at Jujutsu Kaisen, but this second season for me, it just hasn't been hitting right now.
Yeah, because the Jujutsu Kaisen, they put out a movie back in December, and so right now they're trying to catch up with the rest of the fans that didn't see that movie. That's why they're putting those recap episodes out. But really, it's supposed to start on the 31st, the next arc. So that's why.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, Vinland Saga was crazy. I
Yeah,
mean, in the
season.
beginning it started off kind of slow, but then by the time it, I think what was it, Thorfinn's slave owner went to meet King Canute. That's when things picked up.
Ah,
Because
you're
Man,
right. It did. It did.
I don't
spoiler,
know, man.
that's
My
when
bad, JJ.
I think by the time like Arnhild's husband was
Mm-hmm.
over there, that's when things got crazy.
It did. It did. Because you're right. It did. It did start out slow, but it needed to be the way it is because at this point, Thorfinn needed to make the transition to what he has to be now. So that's the reason why it had to be as slow as it is, so he can go through the development of changing from what he was, which was a fucking ruthless killer at like a 14 and shit.
I
So
know.
he had to go from that to now being a man now who has to go from being a killer. Now he has to try to be a man who has to, at most, fight self-defensively instead of for killing. He has to do it for like defending others now instead of doing it just for the sake of like revenge. And it's just like some kind of automatic reflex for him. So I know what you mean. Yeah, it did start out slow, and I 100% agree with you on that. You're right, but it had to be done to begin what's going to happen with the other episodes later on.
Yeah, because the whole goal for them was to settle for new land, to get away from the old slavery system and the old Viking warrior way of handling things throughout society. So they're trying to get away from all that. That's why the story of Vinland was so etched in his mind as a young kid. So he remembers that even all throughout the years of him being enslaved, that's the one thing that kind of kept him alive or gave him a sense of hope. So, yeah.
And I don't know. For me, the character development for everything early on, even before all of that, I don't know. It kept me watching, and I thought it was the writing and the character development for what people would call slow to me was, I don't know. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
I couldn't pull away personally.
I waited every day for Vinland Saga. Come on, I just not only just the violence, but the violence was just it was the violence wasn't the main thing, but the violence was more or less like the icing, if you want to call it like that, on top of a cake of a really good story and characterization and character development and the narrative because now you're starting to see as Thorfinn was getting older. Now he was coming in contact with Canute as a boy, and you can kind of see the differences between the both of them at that particular point. One was very gentle, and Thorfinn was, a killer. And then now that they got older, now you kind of almost see a reversal of it now.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
Canute is more ruthless, and Thorfinn is more determined to try to do things peacefully. So if that wouldn't make any sense unless you've seen the first part of the story. You had to see the first part of the story for that to actually make sense, for you to appreciate that. But yeah, awesome writing. Awesome.
Yeah, you would have thought Canute was always a jackass.
Yeah,
but,
you would have.
Yeah, but he started out very meek and frail until he had to get reared into being a tough, no nonsense king.
Okay, so I guess I was I guess I was wrong about Lucy Lawless then. I guess I may have been incorrect, but unless they scrubbed it from Wikipedia, but it's possible. But it doesn't matter. But yeah, but
All right.
here's the thing.
All
Here's
right.
the thing about it with this then. All right, Sigma, I think you would appreciate this anime, and it was a really, really good anime. As a matter of fact, I believe it's not Crest of the Stars. It's definitely a long drawn out war drama anime, and I've had it on my watch list. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna send it to you in the private chat. I think you would appreciate that a lot. You would once you've seen the first episode and seen the tactics of it thereof. Tell me if you didn't enjoy it. I'm gonna look it up now. I'm gonna put it in the back chat for you to watch.
Cool. I'll be on the lookout.
All right, let me just get that for you there.
Cool. Well, we are almost at the 2-hour mark, and I know for some of the brothers on the East Coast, there's a storm that might be coming through. So we're gonna go ahead and close out a bit. So we're just going to
So
do
what do
a
you?
round
So what?
robin.
What do you?
I'm gonna
So
start.
what? So what are you saying? You trying to blame shutting this down on me? Is that what you trying to do?
I'm on the East Coast. Look.
Well, that terrifies me.
Oh God, man! Damn.
Wow.
That's a bird.
Oh God.
You're over here
Okay.
with me. Yeah. I'm sorry, Sigma. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you fine. I was just taking into consideration for the brothers on the East Coast, with the storm coming through. Just want to make sure everybody is able to, hunker down and do what they need to do before it passed through. So I figured I would end it, a little bit closer to the 2-hour mark. So we'll do a
That's
round
cool.
robin.
It's
Yeah, we'll
cool.
do a round
It's cool.
robin. We'll do a
Hey,
round
look,
robin.
I missed most of the show. I'm trying to get it off my chest. I'm sorry.
I didn't think you missed a beat.
Don't worry. And the goal is this. No. The goal is this. The goal is this too. Because I know right now my schedule is still a little bit hectic, but the goal is to keep the State of Male Entertainment going at least every month. And so if I can work my schedule in every now and then, we could definitely keep hosting this, every month or so. So whatever this, wherever you miss Lawrence, believe me, we got you on the next one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Just stop blaming me for shutting down because of a storm. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
I just want to say this.
If you're not on my side as an older gentleman, don't do it.
You know that I'm an older gentleman myself, but what I was going to say is, in regards to Oppenheimer, I think, Sigma, you feel the same way that I felt 3 years ago now. Wow. Anyway, because most people in America did not get the chance to see Tenet in theaters when it opened across the pond. So I wanted to discuss it and talk about it with people, but they hadn't seen it, at least not back in America. So unfortunately, I have not seen Oppenheimer yet, but I will, because I want to see how Nolan approached it. So far, for me, Tenet is his ultimate masterpiece. I haven't seen anything better yet. I want to see Oppenheimer because Nolan hasn't made a bad film in his career yet.
No, I can. Yeah. I mean, as far as it goes to Christopher Nolan, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I definitely
we're
want to check
gonna
out
do.
Oppenheimer. So
Yeah. So we're gonna do a round robin here, and I'm gonna start with JJ since he's right next to me. What's your final thoughts on tonight?
Well, I thought it was a rather interesting topic, learning more about Thanos and his ambitions to rid of all the intelligent, capable people of either usurping his power or to please a woman of his life. So those are some tidbits I didn't know. Also learning a bit more about how the Hollywood industry works when it comes to pushing agendas and manipulating people and make you hate watch to no end, even though some of these series I'm not really a fan of, never really cared for it. So unless it was like something I really cared about, like on the anime side of things or even gaming, then yeah, then they would probably push my buttons at that point. But other than that, thank you for letting me on the panel, Sigma. And one more thing, for anime related news, I do have a video coming up tomorrow on my channel.
Okay.
On the chat, it's also JJ Starwin, so you can just type it in the address bar and you'll see it. So it's going to talk about 5 different anime movies that were well received back in the 90s, and they're going to be back in the movie theaters within the next 5 months. So be sure to check that out. Yep.
Are any of them Akira?
No, one of them is Cowboy Bebop, Ghost in the Shell, and 3 of them were made by the late producer Satoshi Kon.
Okay.
He unfortunately died 13 years ago due to pancreatic cancer.
Oh.
Yeah. But his films will be on the movie screens starting next month.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
No,
We'll definitely be on the lookout.
So nothing about this thing between me and you, JJ? So you're gonna ignore me now? You're gonna ignore me now, JJ? It's gonna be like that?
All right. My bad, I got interrupted. What was that?
So that's it? That's all you got to say? What about this thing between us? Where's my money?
Oh, I don't recall if he owed any money.
Okay, first of all, there's no such thing as owing. This is a racketing job. You just supposed to give it to me for protection. Ignore me, man.
If you
Moving
said
right
about it, then
along.
yeah, okay. You know, that's different.
Moving right along. Okay. So, Isaac Saba, your final thoughts, good sir.
Well, you know, it was great to be back in here and have another discussion here on State of Male Entertainment. I just want to say, for all of you relationship and married fellows, if you don't want to be in trouble, you better go see that Barbie before before they because they call it for all your significant others to leave you if you don't see Barbie. But
yeah,
I don't have to worry about that because my wife isn't a cunt.
Well, actually, what they fail to understand is that the whole thing about Barbie was really about us. We put it out because we wanted them to leave us.
Oh, damn.
Ancient Chinese secret. See, we made them think we made them think they made it, but we did it and let them think that because we really wanted them to leave us.
Damn.
But no, all jokes aside,
Okay.
I had fun.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Lawrence Guy, your final thoughts, good sir.
I need medication. Oh yeah. Patrick Swayze from Roadhouse. A bear fell on me.
Doggone.
No, man. It's good to be back and have some fun. I appreciate everybody for showing up to listening to my madness. And as always, I love my dudes on my panel. So as always, thanks for having me, man.
Anytime, Lawrence. Definitely looking forward to more of these to come. Now, Agerism, your final thoughts, good sir.
Thank you for having me on yet again. Sigma was good to be back in with the brethren yet again, talking about all different subjects, fanciful and scientific, and even a little bit crude a little bit times. But you know what? It's good. It's good. It's good to talk with the boys sometimes. It's good that. Now, as you know, I have my channel. I've come back. I started producing content again. My latest and greatest work has been so far the Nibba Safari. So if you are interested in seeing an anthropological look even a David Attenborough type of outlook on activity in the community, please feel free to take a look at my channel. If you are interested in that kind of stuff, I think you will be pleased with some of the work that I've done here. And yeah, I would appreciate a subscription if you don't mind.
That was
Hey, Drizzle.
so AI.
I was going to say, hey, Drizzle, feel free to post your channel link in the chat and everything. You should be rich enough to do so.
All right.
Cool. And then last but not least, the gentleman who was holding it down for the elder generation, Logic's Finest, your final thoughts.
Well, to finish up on the point that I kept hammering home all night. If you know who I have on screen as my little avatar here, if you know, you know. The classics will always be around. They will never die. And of my number one favorite IP of all time, he is the best who ever did it. So no matter what garbage Hollywood puts out, what trash the BBC has also become, the classics are always there, and we have them forever.
All righty then.
Perfect.
All hail Lord Toaster. Don't throw money, just bread. Ding.
Nah, but that's
Oh man.
yeah, very
No, but
great,
he, no,
very
but
great.
but everything he said is absolutely correct though. All kidding aside.
Right. He is true. It is right. And, I mean, I think everybody up here would agree that for the most part, we don't really watch new content unless you know
Yeah.
it's something that we can relate to. We're good with just watching, reruns of classics. So
Yeah.
nobody here is going to deny that.
I will say this: there is the occasional shining star. I watched something on, I want to say it's Amazon. I think it's called Night Sky. Stars J.K. Simmons.
Oh well, yeah.
Sissy Spacek. I have to say, a rather unique, I wouldn't say unique, but a very different turn on the sci-fi drama. Foundation is in season 2, so there are gems out there. They're just very few and far in between. So yeah, for the most part, I'm with the classics. I'm with the old stuff, the actual quality. Classics will always be there.
That's interesting because when you say that there's hidden gems out there, it's fascinating. If they don't talk about it, then you know it's good.
That's
As
true.
as weird as that sounds, if they're not trying to promote it with agenda or whatever, and you don't hear nothing about it, 9 times out of 10, it's good. Because until you just mentioned it, I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, it's really good, Lawrence. I think you would really like it because, again, you know me. It has to be intricate. It has to be complex. It has to be well written, well acted, a good story, and you get all of that.
Hey, my
And
dude, you had me at J.K. Simmons and Sissy Spacek for real.
yeah, I mean, because she hasn't not that she doesn't act much, but yeah, she doesn't do much, and she's Sissy Spacek.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so you had me with that, so I'm definitely gonna try and check that out. So it's on Amazon Prime. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got that.
I added it to my watch list, so I have to check
Night
it out sometime.
Sky.
Yeah.
And it's
So
a completely different take on sci-fi. And if it's anything I know, it's sci-fi. So
oh yeah.
this is different. It's different.
Oh, it was canceled. It was
Get out of
canceled.
town.
Yeah, number of seasons, number of episodes, and it says Night Sky was released on May 20th, 2022 on Amazon Prime. In July 2022, the series was canceled after 1 season. So that's it.
Damn.
That's it, just those 8 episodes. And again, that only proves my point. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Because like I said, the only stuff that keeps getting renewed is the crappy stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just saying that's my perspective from what I've seen. So
Lawrence,
yeah.
listen, like myself, as a person who reads and read growing up, there are parts of that story that are going to bring you back to books that we read as kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Okay, yeah,
It's
I'm
good.
definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm definitely gonna check that out. That's nice. That'll work.
Oh, also one last thing, because I know we're running over in segment. I promise this is the last thing. Warner Brothers confirmed before the strike started, they've greenlit Dune 3, which is going to be the second book in the series, Dune Messiah.
Okay, so we're still doing okay. They're not trying to do like they did with Witcher, where it starts
No,
one way and then they change it later. So they still
no,
following the books.
no,
Nice,
correct. The
nice,
second book in the
nice.
series, Dune Messiah, will be the third film, and they announced it again. That's why I say before the strike, but
Nice,
they
nice.
greenlit it.
Okay. Well, you know, because you and I are starting to get serious, so let's let Sigma wrap up. We can talk in the back.
No worries, just
sorry,
no
Sigma.
worries.
Sorry.
So, oh no, you're good. But yeah, we'll have State of Mel Entertainment episode 9 for next month, and we're definitely going to keep this rolling. And so, and let me also put this out too. Anybody has a topic they would like to bring for the next episode to deep dive in, please feel free to bring it. I know we started off with the topic with Thanos tonight, but definitely I love the fact that we just kind of free flowed and got into other topics with it. But by all means, everybody on the panel and those who will eventually come up on the panel, if you have a topic that you feel is pertaining to State of Mel Entertainment or just, entertainment industry for that matter, please feel free to bring it to the next episode or even post it in the chat. We will gladly talk about it and discuss it on the following episodes to come. But until then, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.